forgot to turn my mic on here. Well, if you'll stand with me, welcome to the Thursday, January 21st meeting of your Irving Las Colinas Rotary Club, chartered February 16th, 1937. So we're celebrating 84 years of service to the Irving community. Our invitation day will be led by Bobby Haas. Richard Raymond will lead us in pledge. Neil and Sandra will lead us in singing God Bless America. And Mike Kunstadt will lead us in our introduction of visiting Rotarians and guests. Bobby, lead us in prayer.
Thank you. Let us pray. We pray that God will give us leaders of integrity who will govern in righteousness, wisdom, and truth. May our leaders have the courage to lead with wisdom, not political expediency. That they will see both the short and long-term implications of all that they do. We ask that you will give our leaders the convictions to go against their political parties when there's policies or stances on lines. We pray that our leaders will have common sense. Even when our leaders do not know or seek God, we pray for your mercy to guide them through the thoughts and decisions in spite of themselves. We pray that our leaders will surround themselves with wise assistants and counselors, that they will be an influence for truth and wisdom among colleagues and networks. We pray for their guidance and protection in moral, spiritual, and family matters. A powerful release of God's Spirit in their homes, their offices, and surroundings. Amen.
Thank you. Richard, lead us in the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Neil, Sandra.
Page 2, the second verse. So you gotta have this little thing here. You don't know the words, you get one. On page 2, second verse. Okay, introduction.
God bless America. Stand beside her, and guide her through the night with her light. From the mountains to the prairie, to the ocean and rest. Let me hear you. God bless America. I want to belong. God bless America. I want to belong.
Thank you, good job, that's it.
Well done. Y'all sound good. Thank you, Neil, Sandra. She's amazing. Well, Mike, do you have our list of visiting Rotarians and guests? Aaron is here today. Aaron, stand up a minute, all right? Sandra, could you come back to the piano for just a minute? Because Saturday is Aaron's birthday. Can we sing happy birthday to him? Could you play happy birthday for him? Saturday's Aaron's birthday. My daughter Erin, she's turning 38. Wow. All right. I'm not going to leave. You're just going to play. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Aaron. Happy birthday to you. Thank you all for that. I asked her what she wanted for her birthday. She said she wanted to come to Rotary and for me to buy her lunch. So I made that easy, all right? So Well, we've got a couple of quick announcements. So Bill Lamar come up and give us an update on our club member.
Did you know you're never supposed to reveal a young lady's age?
She gave me permission.
Okay. I had a conversation with Kathy Howard this morning. Most of you may know that Clint passed away Monday morning very peacefully. Kathy was by his side, holding his hand, and that long struggle is now over. The plans are to do a memorial service towards the end of February outside in the garden at Lovers Lane United Methodist Church. That's where they met. That's where they were married, and they have a niche in the column buried there. And as I'm going to facilitate that service, and so as more details become available, I'll let you know. But it's going to be towards the end of February at Lovers Lane United Methodist Church. Now, after I got through that conversation, I called her right back and I said, Kathy, one important thing, when you're working on the OBED, make sure you list in lieu of flowers, memorials may be made too. I said, or you'll end up with a double pickup load of cut flowers. She says, I've already got them. So don't send her any more flowers. And memorials, I got the OBED, which is incredible. Memorials may be made to the Feather, Scott and White Irving Healthcare Foundation. That's the establishment of that hospital is what Clint considered the singular accomplishment of his life. So,
Bill, thank you for updating on that. Once we have an exact date, we'll let you know. Let's see, who else? Tracy Love. Tracy's here. Tracy, come on up to the microphone so they can hear you and those online can hear you. Tracy's usually been in that little box on the screen for a while. I told her glad she's here today. Give us a quick YMCA update.
Yes, so the YMCA without walls, and we're still active in the community. Of course, the main thing that we're focused on now is youth sports, and so our basketball season has kicked off, and we have, I think we had like 125 participants registered for the winter basketball. We're looking forward to a bigger spring. Hopefully in the spring we can kick off our Miracle League, which is the baseball league with our children with diverse abilities, and so we'd love for you to come out and volunteer for that and see that. But we're still running all of our sports programs, which is soccer, basketball, like football has been added, volleyball, all of that stuff is still happening. We're still doing youth and government with our teams in our schools, and we're still in all of the after-school sites, running the after-school programs for all of Irving ISD schools. So we're still active, just without walls. So just please continue to support us. We've kicked off our annual campaign, 2021 annual campaign, with the goal of $33,500, which is about half of what we would normally raise, but because we don't have a building, we don't have membership. So those funds wouldn't be going toward that. But a lot of the funds that we raise will support the programs that we're running in the community. So please, please continue to support us and know that we're here. And also tomorrow at 9 a.m., we will have 20 pallets of chips that will be delivered to the Irving YMCA. It equates to about 25,000 bags of chips. So if you guys want to come out and help us unload and pick up some chips, please do. We want to get rid of them as much as possible, but Frito-Lay will be donating those to us, and they donate those on a quarterly basis. And we just want, at this time, we just want to use this opportunity to serve our community. So please come out. Thank you.
I like that. YMCA without walls, so still impacting our community. I told you last week that Matt Keynes was going to be here talking about a mobility water skiing program that they do for people in wheelchairs or have physical disabilities. When I spoke with Matt this morning, he had a meeting that was supposed to have been over that was going longer, and he apologized and needed to reschedule. So Very quickly, I reached out to 3 of our younger members in our club. And I reached out to them intentionally because the face of Rotary and the Irving Las Colinas Rotary in the future is going to have to be younger. So I asked Lazaro, and I asked my son Jordan and Shane Webb to give us a little bit of input. Really, we've entitled this My Rotary Experience and why Rotary is important to me. So Lazaro, we're going to let you go first. Come on up. You're on the clock. Okay. Give him a great hand. Okay, perfect. Oh, you got your own clock there. All right, good job.
Well, Mr. President, thank you for the opportunity to speak to our fellow Rotarians and guests. When kind of coming up with the idea of what to talk about, I wanted to walk you guys through a journey of how I got here and how I got introduced to Rotary. And to begin with, I would like to say that I got introduced to Rotary whenever this community and this club was doing what a good community and a good club does for the community. I grew up in El Salvador. That's where I was born. I came here when I was 13 years old with my little sister. My mom came here during the Civil War and got granted amnesty. And that's how my little sister and my grandparents were able to become permanent residents while still in El Salvador. And I came here at the age of 13. Through growing up, just a little bit about that. I think I was 8 years old when we first had electricity back where I grew up. But to us, that was what we knew. So that's a little bit about the background that I grew up. So coming to America was a huge change. I didn't speak any English. Came to the second semester of my 7th grade at Austin Middle School, where I ran cross country, where I started to pick up the double running. Went to Irving High School. While at Irving High School, I got very involved. I was in the JROTC program. I ran cross country. I was very involved in a lot of different other activities like the Irving Team Court, just like 5 different other clubs. So very, very, very involved. So that kind of helped me get noticed with some of my professors and teachers at Irving High School, who suggested when I was a senior that I applied for the Irving Rotary Club scholarship and write an essay. So I wrote an essay, and it was in 2004, so I don't remember what it was that I wrote about. But I received a scholarship that year that Rotary was giving out. And that changed a lot for me because at the time I had already applied for the scholarship that I had not received. And it just led me to believe that I could go to college despite, my mom being a single mom. At the time when I was in high school, I started working at Pizza Hut, the one in Shady Grove and Story. Then I helped in one of my partners in 635, and my mom wanted to become a mechanic, so not a mechanic that goes to college and gets a degree, type thing. So this was a blessing, and it led me to believe that I could go to college and start applying for more scholarships. Eventually, I got a full ride to a new public school in Texas. But I went to a private school, so I declined that one with the condition that the other school that I was going to go to was going to give me something cool. And so, but all of that came to be because of that scholarship that Rotary gave. So, to anybody watching this video later, I encourage you in your school at a young age, or even your kids or grandkids, to be involved as much as they can, because through that, there's a lot of learning experiences that you take from that. You fail a lot and you learn a lot. But those are things that can set at a young age, something to look forward to, where Rotary is part of our schools, right? So we are doing stuff. That program still continues, I believe, where we are giving scholarships to the students here. So I want to commend you guys for keeping that program and do whatever we can to keep that going so other people can benefit from that. In college, I went to Shriner University, which is a private school down by San Antonio, in Kerrville. I double major in political science and international business. I studied a lot of psychology as well, but I really dove into reading books throughout my high school and college career, and even after that as well, where I didn't have a lot of role models around me, but books were what were around. So I did a lot of biographies, business, marketing, and just anything I could get my hands into so I could learn about the industry. So that's kind of what has brought me to this journey where now after college I worked for AT&T for about 8 years. I was working doing sales and I did management for about 3 years in a row. I was the #1 sales rep in the entire company of 22,000 people. But that was because of the, upbringing. I had an opportunity working there to actually excel, so I was going to take advantage of that. And I mean, after that, to different other jobs, I got recruited by Clear Channel out of the World Company to do marketing sales. So I took that after I left that company, and then decided to start the Irving Marathon running series that you guys see now. That is in full effect here in the community. And we did that part of it, one, because after college, we saw that there was not a running community here. In 2012, I started the Irving Running Club, which now has over 1,000 followers on Instagram. And this is a running thing that's happening in the community. So as we grow, we have a lot of plans for Irving to keep it active. So with the support of the community, we are able to do that. So that's a little bit about the story, kind of how I got here to be part of Rotary. And now I'm looking forward to see what else we can do, right? So as the president also said, there's a lot of things going to happen in the future. Learning from you guys and being involved in the community. It's actually helped me a lot to tailor all the goals that we have for the with the Urban Marathon, for example. Working on starting a cycling series as well. We're going to talk more about that. So, but all of that came to me because I wrote an essay for Rotary whenever this club and the community was doing what they're supposed to be doing, which is helping others. So that's all I have. Any questions?
There's already time left on that clock there, so.
I just didn't want to run out.
I appreciate them being available in very short notice to help me out with that. Jordan, I was going to have you go next. Are you ready? They're having trouble hearing. All right. Can those of you online hear me now? Okay. So just stand closer to the mic, and it won't bite you. So, you ready, Jordan?
Yeah, I can.
Jordan is going to present something, all right? So, welcome, Jordan.
Yeah, Jordan. Can you guys hear me okay? Bob? Everybody good? Okay, good. All right, so I know Rotary has been something that I've known and been a part of for a long time, mainly as an onlooker or as a visitor for a very long time. And so Rotary has impacted me from the standpoint of just seeing my father as part of it and seeing how it's affected him and how many of his, some of his greatest friendships come from people that are inside this room. And so one of the first things I want to do is back in October, Rotary made a contribution to Cleanup, a nonprofit that I started back in May to provide services, mobile services to homeless widows and fatherless that are on the streets here in North Texas. And you guys made a contribution. And so first and foremost, I want to say thank you. So I brought a shirt for our president here. So I want to be able to present that shirt.
Thank you.
And then secondly, I wanted to show you guys also made a contribution to help us rent a motorhome for the very first time, which because we were able to rent that motorhome and walk out our purpose as a nonprofit, it triggered something, and I want to be able to show you guys what you guys have been a part of. So in 1 second, and I will pull it up here for you. Everybody see that? So there's no volume, it's just a picture. So this is the motorhome that Cleanup purchased on the 31st of December of this past year. This motorhome we now take into the communities all across North Texas and provide mobile services, haircuts, showers, mani-pedis, anything like that. Obviously clothing and food, beverages and things like that. But again, it's because of individuals in this room who bought into a story of what we're able to do. And so we were able to take this unit, and as of date, so now we're 18 days in from when we purchased it, we provided almost 70 showers Yesterday alone, we did 9 haircuts in downtown Dallas. So thank you guys for being a part of that. Stop sharing here. All right. So my Rotary story is a little bit different. As again, I was a more started out as coming along to probably appease my dad, and then it transitioned into being a visitor, somewhat participant, and then again, about 2 years ago, I started being a little bit more active, participating and doing some things, and I caught a bug from coming here. Something that triggered inside me. I saw the opportunity to be able to serve. I saw an opportunity to use my gifts that God has given me and apply them. And now it's transitioned into I want to be able to stimulate that for not only just this club and the other individuals who are in this room and joining us right now on live via Zoom so we can interact with her. We're also live on Facebook where we can interact back and forth with individuals all across the globe who are watching this right now. And we're able to share a story. And so one thing that I know that I want to do is I want to be able to collaborate and pull all of our individual stories because they're important. But I also, Irving Las Colinas Rotary Club itself has its own powerful story after 84 years. And I want to be able to capture that and be able to share that. And then my goal is through that as public image chair of this club, but also for the district, is I want to be able to share that with the rest of the district and to be able to spur something. Maybe we can be a domino that triggers something in the rest of the Rotarian clubs around North Texas. And who knows how far it goes. And then it's that passion, that individual story, which is what transforms all of us. And so I know that I'm grateful for the time that I've been here, and I know that we're going to leave a legacy for so many more people. So thank you guys.
You guys are being very efficient with your Rotary stories. Jordan was 9 years old when I joined Rotary in June of 1995, so he's grown up observing and being part of Rotary, and I'm certainly glad that now as an adult
there in the fitness
what our
area.
club is doing to reach some of the younger people.
Oh.
And get them engaged with Rotary. Well, I asked him to speak class, A, because he's a pastor, and I knew that he wouldn't have any problem filling the excess time, right? But he could also help connect these stories, and then at the very end, I need to leave probably 3 or 4 minutes, and Rick Lindsay is going to jump on. So if you can do that, y'all welcome, Shane.
They probably said something about Clint, and we missed
Well,
it.
Robert knows me well enough
You can
to know
replay
that
it.
I will step up and gladly help out and talk anytime he needs me to. But he doesn't know me well enough yet that it's dangerous to give me a microphone in an audience. So, here we go. So my Rotary story. I have a story a lot like Lazaro's. My first introduction to Rotary was they hooked me up with some money. I got a scholarship in community college. Thankfully for me, since I'm not much of a scholar, there were only a handful of candidates that qualified for this Rotary scholarship, and they were giving away 3, so my odds were really good. But I came from Deer Park High School, and it was the Deer Park Rotary Club in Southeast Houston that was offering the scholarship, so I filled out the paperwork, wrote an essay, and they needed it to be a graduate from high school, Deer Park High School, that was pursuing a 4-year degree and was currently studying at community college, and that had a decent grade point average, which I didn't have a decent grade point average in high school, but I learned a few things in community college and got my act together. So there was that, so I got the scholarship and I was excited. And I started working shortly after that for my church as the youth director. And my pastor at the time was involved in the local Rotary Club. And so he invited me to participate in a number of meetings. And I was paying for community college
by working a number of jobs. I worked with the YMCA in one of their after-school programs because I had learned Spanish and they needed a Spanish speaker, so I had an automatic job created for me, which was wonderful. I worked at a soccer store that sold soccer apparel, and then I worked for the church, so I kept busy, which thankfully kept me out of trouble because I didn't have time for drugs or anything like that. So that's what got me involved. And then I went off to one of these crazy liberal arts Presbyterian private colleges like Laszlo. I went to the version of Schreiner that's in Sherman, Austin College, go Roos. And I had a roommate that was in Rotary. And he was a very nice guy. I thought he was a nerd. He'd wake up at 6 in the morning to go to this Rotary Club meeting across town. And I was like, dude, you're in college. Like, why are you so on fire about Rotary that you get up early in the morning or anything, but to, go hang out with a bunch of old guys. Who are you? I didn't get it. Well, fast forward, I got into Mount Pleasant. I was at a church out in East Texas, and I got involved with the Mount Pleasant Rotary Club because I got invited there, and I needed some friends outside of the church. And so I quickly made many good connections and was so glad that I started visiting and then quickly caught the bug, as Jordan did, and became a member. And that club really helped me to explore the community and learn the ways to serve the community best, and gave me chances to work in the flag program, to work with youth, to do all kinds of different aspects that really connected me better to the community that I was trying to serve through the church. And Rotary not only gave me those good friendships, but many opportunities to serve the community in ways that I wouldn't have known about otherwise. So I was very thankful for that. And I was also thankful that I was in line to be president there in the Mount Pleasant Rotary Club. I said, God called me somewhere else, so I'm not going to get to be president after all. But now here I am, and I dodged the bullet in one place and caught it in another, so that's what happens. But you catch the bug, and I think that's the importance of Rotary, that you build good friendships with other people in the community that really do care about serving others, that care about things outside of themselves and outside of their career and their various businesses. And that to me is really important. Anytime we can get outside of ourselves and get outside of our comfort zones and really work to inspire and transform people that are in need of just a little bit of help. And so it was very moving for me when I came to this club. And right away I was accepted and brought in. Even though I think people could tell I was a little different, a little weird. You guys accept me for who I am, and it's beautiful. And there haven't been too many complaints, so thanks be to God. But, I was moved by how, we came up with an immediate need in the community to make some hygiene kits, both for disaster release and also for the new project that Jordan was starting, and that it was quickly approved that we could do that, and everyone joined in to help make that possible in a moment's notice. And that was very meaningful to me to see the club come together to help other people in that way. So I am very thrilled to be a part of this club. I'm happy to serve in whatever ways I am able, because I do think this club is making a difference in the community around us. And I think we will continue to have wonderful opportunities, and that we will leave behind a great legacy, as Jordan mentioned, and that we will continue to be a force in Irving to be reckoned with. That people will know that we are here to help and to help improve the community around us. And that is an incredible gift that we can give our city and the neighbors around us. So I appreciate each and every one of you for your dedication to the club, and anyone that may be watching that isn't yet a member of Rotary, I strongly encourage it, because it will indeed transform your life, and one day you'll be telling your Rotary story. So God bless y'all, and thank you.
Well done, Shane. Dr. Parr, you have a question for Shane?
Well, actually, what I'd like, you probably have this information, but I haven't heard from these three individuals. I just wanted to hear from them directly. What are 2, maybe 3 things that we can do as a club to diversify our club in terms of age and in terms of just general demographics?
I'll ask them to, want all 3 of you come back up here for a moment, and I'm going to leave Rick Lindsay a little time at the end to help us. But I will say this, that each of them mentioned really a subtle but important thing, and that is that they were invited to Rotary. And really for many people, that's all it takes is just an invitation to come, to be at a meeting. The club will buy their meal. So that policy of paying for the first 2 meals of a guest that's interested in joining Rotary is still in place. One thing I do want to say before I move on, Shane alluded to, but Shane's our club service chair. He was going to be moving into a different role this July, but because Dorian Milano had to leave our club to join the Sunrise Club, Shane agreed to move into the president-elect role. So he'll be going to Pets at the end of February as our president-elect nominee, and then he'll be the president-elect during Linda's term and will be president in 2022, 2023. So Shane, thank you for stepping up to that. Lazaro's also online to become president soon after that. So trying to maintain that momentum of good leadership in our club. So Dr. Parr's question was, what can we do to diversify the club?
2, 3 things.
2 or 3 things. So jump up there, just give us your 2 or 3, and Lazaro's behind him.
Here we go, real quick. As club service chair, which I'm still trying to figure out what that is, but part of it is this question: how do we get more people involved in Rotary? How do we attract new members and make sure that we're having a diverse group? And first, invitation. Let people know about, especially now that we've got the technology to, they don't even have to leave their home or their place of work, wherever they are currently involved. It's an easy way to dip your toes in. Say, hey, check out our Rotary Club. They've got some things going on there. And a big one for me with Rotary and with church is show them. Show them what you're about. Show them that you do care about the community by how you're helping. What are you doing to improve the world around you? And I think we're doing that. We support our local nonprofits. We have different ways that we fundraise and give back to the community. And we're not afraid to do projects and be involved with things like investing in the lives of our young people, Interact. And if we ever decide to do Rotaract or something else like it, those are ways that we bring in the younger people and show them and encourage them in their life.
Bunch of good ones. So to kind of go with his point, one of the things that I'm part of this club now because I was introduced in high school. So I think we probably have a lot of other people that have scholarships, but just I would think long-term strategy to be more involved with the people that are growing right now that will go and then will come back, because if we provide a positive experience for them now that they're young, whenever they come back and whatever role they decide to do here in town, if they come back to Irving, so they'll be able to join, or not just this club, but by having a strong presence at our high schools and middle schools and that from the beginning, I think that would help a lot.
For me, my perspective on increasing that would be to engage differently than what we have been doing. And that's why we're doing some of the things we're doing. Actually, I'm going to show a 30-second video in just a second of Shane's Rotary Story that he took literally right after Rotary, and we created it, and now this is something that we can promote, and it's something that we can engage people differently than what we have done. But again, just like Shane said it, is he commented to his friend and said, why do you want to go hang out with a bunch of old people? And we need to change that mantra that that's not what Rotary is. And I mean, maybe that's what Rotary was at one point, but that's not what Rotary is. Rotary has a legacy of passing the torch, passing it down, and we need to start by passing it down again. So we just engage that differently. So let me show you a quick video.
And a portion of my I got involved in Rotary because when I was in college students, I was given a scholarship by the Rotary Club to continue my studies. And I'm very touched with them. When I started at a church out in East Texas, I was taken in by a Rotary Club there.
Yeah, turn that mic on.
Some of my closest friends. And now that I'm here in Irving, I've been touched by the way Irving also did this Rotary Club. And we had a team where I could get some stuff maybe kids here. So that we could help. So I appreciate this club, and I encourage you to do this.
Good job. That was Shane's 30-minute or 30-second my Rotary story that lasted a minute and 5 seconds. But that's right. But one of the things that we're wanting to do is get a 30-second to 1 minute video. Literally, you can do just like Shane did, have your cell phone, turn around, and just tell a Rotary story. Jordan has the ability to edit down, put the graphics in with it, and then we use it on social media to engage with other people that are looking for Rotary. The references that they made to a bunch of old people isn't meant to be derogatory, but what it does do is it should tell each of us that perhaps that's a perception that others outside of Rotary has of us. And the way you change that is you get more people like Shane and Lazaro and Jordan. Our newest member, help me, Bobby, Lindy, what's her name? Ryan Cheney, yes, who will be joining our club next week. It's not that we're excluding anybody that's older that wants to get in Rotary, but it is our targeted intention to grow our club. And my hope would be in the next 2 or 3 years that 50% of our club is under 50 years of age. That's a strong goal, but I think we can do it, especially if we're using the right tools. So I don't want to take up all the rest of the time. I asked our past president, Rick Lindsay, just to pull these comments together and to give us his input. And then I'm going to have Tracy come up and do the 4-way test, and we're going to close in a moment. So, Mr. Lindsay, are you unmuted at all?
Yes, sir. Sound check. Is it good? Sound check. Is it good? I can't hear you, so I'm guessing you can hear me. I can't. You can? Okay.
Yeah, we can hear you.
All right, here we go. Mr. President, thank you very much. I'm excited to talk about something that's near and dear to all of our hearts, and we'll give our new speakers there, our new members, opportunity. Next week, as you know, we've got Bill Baxter, who's the gentleman that his company's writing the software that we're using to manage. So I'm very pleased to say that Ms. Kathy Howard has been working on the flag program very hard for the past probably 60 or 90 days. She sent Bob and I some very much needed information last week, and then I got the email at 7 Monday morning. So we have a good groundwork to continue, and I just want to go through a couple of things real fast. The flag program is in excellent shape. I looked at the database yesterday. We have 1,534 subscribers, somewhere around 2,000 flags, because, you know, people buy common area. Average price could be 40, so that's about 61,000. You add in what Bob champions, Millennium Fountain, that's another 7 or 8. So we are financially, we have weathered the pandemic time period, and we are in excellent shape financially. So, you know, the 3.5-foot flag, 10-foot pole, sleeve, blue star, that's kind of the product. But in talking with our largest customer yesterday, Marley Wilson, who manages the lakes, she has 260 flags that we place. And it's the relationship that she describes that her residents feel that they have with Rotary, and the money that they contribute and how that money is given and used in the youth in the city of Irving. So that caused me to realize that we're actually selling them some involvement in Rotary to make contributions back to the young people and the programs that we support. So pricing this year, I want to jump right on. Pricing is going to be $50 for a flag, $45 if people subscribe before April 1st. It goes up on April 1st to $50. $45 going up to $50. Common area is going to be $30. Logistically, Rosa Gordon did a great job of coming back into the organization last year and helping us with the distribution of the flags. That continues to be a key element as we are growing the program. I have 60 seconds. Promotion. Bob, Kathy, and I have put together some ideas on flyers. Emails will be sent out via this software package. Bill will talk about that. We've got some handouts. And so we need everybody's help to continue to sell the flags and maintain the program. Millennium Fountain, we've got 50 state flags, but we're also placing about 20 or 30 other flags up and down that we can sell and generate more revenue. So, Mr. President, my hat's off to you for your leadership. Look forward to working with the President-elect Linda next year. Kathy Howard, I'm sure after her period of recuperation here and everything, she'll be back helping. The program's in good shape. Bob Bourgeois and Donna are on board, and I know Donna does a lot of help for us in running the front end Flags Over Irving website. Bill Labar, you and Jim Klein, and if I tried to name everybody, I'd miss somebody, but building the flags, a great program, what's going on. Mr. President, I look forward to another great year for the Rotary Flag Program and what it allows us to do, not only in this city, but around the world with our donations back to Rotary International and what we do drilling water wells during a supportive time. If you want me to cover something else, tell me. Is that good?
No, you did great, Rick. We thank you for that. Our program next week is going to be on the flags, so we just gave you a little bit of advance information. But one of the reasons why I asked Rick to do that is that we're going to have some dates next week of work days. We're going to have one a month, February, March, April, May, before our first distribution of flags over Memorial Day weekend. Some of these will be assembling flags, but some of them will be going and checking sleeves or painting new stars or handling new subscriptions where we have to put in new sleeve or new stars. So maybe you say, well, I can't come Saturday morning to work on flags. But if you just gave me a list of 10 houses and on on my own schedule, I could go put those sleeves in and paint the star. I could do that. But we want to engage everybody in some capacity, whatever level of ability that you have. And so we're going to have some dates where we're going to begin preparing for this upcoming year and be as organized as we can. So thank you, Rick. Thank you, Jordan and Lazaro and Shane. You guys did a marvelous job on short notice to help us out. We'll get Matt Kane's rescheduled probably sometime in March or April where we have an open date to be able to come back and share that program. So if you'll stand with me, we're kind of at the end of our meeting time, but I'm going to ask Tracy Love to lead us in the four-way test. Tracy, come on up here. Now we want to get you on camera so everybody can see. Use the mic so they can hear you, all right?
Okay, four-way test of things that we think, say, or do. First, second, third, and fourth.
Tracy, while you're there, ring that bell for me there. Thank you for being at Rotary. You're adjourned. Thanks to all of you that joined us online. Really value your participation in Rotary. If you have some input on things that we can do to engage some of the younger Rotarians, help us with that.